That's awesome.
Good morning guys, it's Alex back at it with Donnie. What I'm gonna do today is reinstall. Last time you guys saw me take the drag radials out, put them on section 8. They did not fit because of, I think it's the barrel. A lot of you said the bracket's different on a GT500, this and this and that. Look, the brakes are GT brakes, and for whatever reason those wheels rub. The wheels that I installed don't rub. I'm not gonna sweat it, so I'm gonna reinstall the drag radials on there. And I'm going to do some more 60-foot testing today. A lot of you guys felt the last 60-foot testing was incomplete, and I agree with you. I have limited time, but I'm going to do my best to get you some more data. So what I'm going to do is do a more apples-to-apples comparison. The last time this thing cut like a 187 60-foot, it had ballast in the back with these tires. I have not tested it yet with these tires and these fronts. So while I technically could do some testing with these tires and these fronts for a more apples-to-apples comparison, I'm just going to put the drag radials on and not really mess around. Oh gosh, you know, you can make the case that only fronts might actually cut a better time, but then that means I have to put that on with a ballast, like 50 pounds in the back, go out and test it, then come all the way back, take the wheels and tires out, 50 pounds ballast, retune the car for the 275s. It's just a nightmare. So I'm gonna eventually take it to the track. So I'm gonna configure it like I take it to the track with the 15s in the back, 17s in the front, see if we can cut a better than a 1.8 60 foot or better than a 1.87 specifically, because that's the best this car ever did. If I somehow get a consistent low 1.9 high 1.8, we'll try to do a full quarter mile rip. I'll be honest with you guys, a full quarter mile rip is scary because it takes a full 11 seconds and you get popped, a 60 to 130 in the GT500 takes high fives. So it's a lot shorter of a pull, but we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and get the 15s back on, ballast in the back, and right out there and do some 60-foot testing with the draggy. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do, obviously, is put the wheels back on. A lot of you guys complained about the audio quality of the channel lately. So I'm recording through a lav mic, a P2X Cinco. Hopefully it sounds better and it gives you guys a better quality sounds instead of a crazy echoey deal. I'm gonna pull the car half in here. I don't really want to make this a place to work on cars. I like it as a quote-unquote shop. I have all my stuff here. It's not cluttered. Things are up against the wall, sort of, kind of, so I can get to everything. So I'll pull the car in halfway, jack it up. I'm also going to nut and bolt the rear end of the car, meaning the drive shaft. I want to make sure that's good. I'm going to also go over the transmission mount, over the transmission belt itself, and all the suspension. I hear some kind of crazy stuff going on back there, but right, just wanted to test out the mic, to be honest with you. That's why I'm giving you guys this shot, not a gratuitous cab shot, because you guys are crazy and gay. Okay, let's take a couple of videos here just to kind of show you what to look out for. So when I'm driving on the road and I go over a very slight bump, I hear this crazy clicking sound, and I'm like, what the hell could that be? So I've been looking, and I just happened to grab this guy right here, this link. Sorry, this I don't know what you call it, turnbuckle. Let me flip the camera around. If it's like up against this guy, right, and you hit a bump, right, the whole thing is turning. It's not like the nut is turning independent of anything, but I was going over a bump and I'd hear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it somewhere in the middle and see if the noise continues. Let me get on the other side and see if the other side, yeah, see the other side, it's already hitting. See, it's already kind of bottomed on that shoulder, so it's more likely to hit. So let me see if I can spin it and put it in a neutral position. Oh no, so this one's loose, see? This one is actually loose. This is why we nut and bolt everything. So let me tighten that guy down, make sure the settings are right, and get after it. Alrighty, what do you have for ballast? Well, we're gonna put a a Brembo wheel in there. So let me take this guy out, make it easy, and Brembo wheel time. I don't know specifically how much a Brembo wheel weighs, but that's what I had in there before, so might as well use that again because that's scientific. Oh, and I have a spare, full-size spare. Alrighty, so had a little trouble hooking back there. So what I'm going to do is I ended up filling up with E85, topping off to get another 10-15 pounds back there. I brought all my data logging equipment, meaning the laptop, the N-Gauge, and everything, because I want to look at some data, because I'm just kind of going, what's happening? And then I'm like, I don't know. I have this bad habit, similar to you guys, of getting out there and wanting to video, but forgetting to data log. So I'm going to go ahead and get some data logs. And you probably won't see me data logging, but the results will be based on what I see in the log. So I'm trying to cut a 1/8. If it cuts a 1/8, I'll do a 1/4 mile hit right then and there. Look at that hood. What the hell? Yeah, I'm gonna let off. This hood is weird. I'm good. This hood is weird. That. Don't need to slam the hood up against my shit. So I aborted the runs because this hood looks like it's about to fly off at over 100 miles an hour. And if you look, this thing is bouncing all over the place at 80, 85. Why? Does anyone have a clue as to why the hell this hood, my GT500, is beautiful at 150? This thing at 80 is about to, you know, fly off. So I had to abort a lot of the runs. First of all, I wasn't able to hook. Second of all, this is an issue. I gotta figure out why this hood is not being happy. I mean, look at the opening on the GT500, the grill. It's open everywhere. There's no mesh, nothing. It's just... So why is this one way more stable at high speed than this one? Well, I noticed one thing. It's a lot closer to the ground. It does have a splitter, which could, you know, in effect straighten the airflow out a little bit better, or just, I don't know, keep it out from under the car. This one absolutely does not. It is a huge gaping hole, just like your mother, right underneath. The lack of extraction, because this does have 2 extractors here. Again, I'm showing, not, the video's over. It's just about why the hell is the hood doing that now. This one doesn't, but it does have extractor in the front, which is very close to the front. So, and you can see the cold air there. So, yeah, I won't be able to go to the track, or I won't be able to be comfortable going to the track and get you even 60 to 130 data on the street unless I figure out why the hell this thing, the hood is lifting up like an inch. If you see the video back on the draggy hit, the hood is lifting up like an inch, and I'm just not comfortable going wide open throttle. Obviously, the GT500 sits way lower to the ground, as you can tell, than the GT by a lot. So maybe that's part of it. So I got to figure out what's going on. I will absolutely take your suggestions and see how to remedy this issue. And this issue is going to be easy to vet. So then if you suggest something, guys, and it fixes the issue, let me know. And if one of you guys in the comments actually comes up with the fix and it's actually verifiable, and I'll post the username, I'll give something away. You know, we'll see what happens. I'll give you a bit of a prize if what you suggest ends up fixing the issue. So no hits, no 60 to 130, no quarter mile hits until I figure out why this hood is about to fly off. All right, sis, I want to have an ending to this video. I want to get a run in. So I'm going to do an 8th mile hit. The quickest this car ever went in the 8th mile was 7.7 at 94 miles an hour. So I'm not going to do a full quarter mile hit. Doesn't matter. It's all about the front half with what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to do a hit. It's dark out, obviously. In the daytime, it was just soupy, hot, nasty. Couldn't do anything. So I'm going to attempt to see if I can get into the low 19 60 foot. And in the 8th, if I can beat a 7.7, which was taken in 51 degree weather. One of those crazy days in Florida where it actually is pretty damn cold. So taking Donnie out for a cruise, it's a nice night. If I meet my goal, I'm happy. And be done with it and go for a cruise. Check out Clematis, car's looking good, so why the hell not? But I'm gonna take advantage of the less amount of traffic, cooler weather, and see if I can get a better than a 7.7 in the 8th mile. So I don't have to go 150 miles an hour and the hood flies open and breaks my windshield. See what happens. All right. Let's see. Hits, 8 mile hits. Alrighty, let's talk about the results. So the car in 51 degree weather went 7.70 at 94 miles an hour. Now the reason I'm referencing 8th mile times is because I couldn't do quarter mile times based on what's going on with the hood right now. So I wasn't really comfortable going anything past 100 miles an hour. So I'm going to reference the 8th mile time because let's be honest, the 60-foot testing is what we were doing. Then the car ended up cutting a 1.94 or 95, I think, on that 7.70 run. On the most recent runs, it went 7.78, then 7.79, but both 60-foots were 1.92. So now I have a more consistent 60-foot in worse weather. The 770 was done in 51 degree weather. The 778 and 779 were both done in 83 degree weather. Pretty warm, but at nighttime. So it's not a good apples to apples, but it at least tells me I'm on the right path, because if I had 30 degree cooler weather, I'm thinking this thing will probably cut, you know, low 19s, high 18s, but it'll be like an 11.7, 11.6. But in order to wait for that weather, it's going to take another 6 months, basically all the way up until November or December in Florida, because we are entering our rainy, hot, sticky, nasty season. So that's good time for me to get a blower on this thing. The whole point to get Donnie going was to do some bolt-ons NA, but really get after it when it comes to boosted combination. So the next thing we're going to be doing is looking for a Roush Gen 2 kit, because I think that blower is better than the Gen 1 supercharger from Roush 2.3. Put it on. The goal is to go 9.99 with the stock motor. Hopefully it lives a long life, but it'll be in the 10s on pump gas. That's the goal, 10s on pump gas and 9s on race gas or E85, depending if I can swing a fuel system. This can be done during the summertime, so that's why I'm not really stressing anything above and beyond that. Now, the Department of Boost kit might not be going on this car, so that might be for sale, so be on the lookout for that. But the next thing, the next evolutionary step, ideally and theoretically based on my teachings, is to get right into boost. Minor bolt-ons, set it up suspension-wise, then get after it with a supercharger, because that's where these coyotes really like to shine. Guys, thanks for listening and hanging in there with me for a little bit while I do some testing on this car. You'll be seeing boosted numbers for this car very soon. This car will be going all summer long. I got an ice tank, so I'm gonna try to get into the 4s, 60 to 130, and we'll see if we can reach both of those goals. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.